What's poppin', Rams? I'm Krista McAllister, and I'm here to fill you in on all of the spice in entertainment. So let's get started. Living in a college town, I would expect a lot of restaurants to be open for those late-night cravings. Fat Shack has taken up this role upon themselves and is even making moves to share their interesting food creations with the world. Last May, the Colorado-based restaurant struck up a deal with Mark Cuban from Shark Tank in order to further their business. The deal of a $250,000 investment for 15% of their business has allowed them to continue to open more stores. So if you're feeling adventurous one night, you'll now have more options for Fat Shack locations where you can try out their sandwiches topped with mac and cheese, among other things. Sometimes I laugh so hard that it feels like I'm getting a workout in. So if you need something to laugh off those calories from Fat Shack, this next group will knock your socks off.
There is no such thing as an error, at least when it comes to Rams Improv comedy. The 2-year-old improv troupe at CSU meets twice a week in order to perfect their imperfections.
Being able to take those errors and build them up into not an error and actually just part of those scenes and being able to create something more funny off of that. When kind of errors like that happen, you definitely are able to develop from it and actually make the audience laugh more from your mistakes because you recognize there's a mistake, but you don't make it a mistake.
Although improv may just seem like an over-the-top conversation, there are quite a few skills that the members practice to improve their scenes.
One of the hardest parts about improv is feeling comfortable and just embracing the crazy.
It really boils down to just being confident in yourself and what you're saying and knowing that you yourself will be great no matter what you do.
Audience participation and wild scene suggestions keeps the troupe on their toes, but not so much that it takes away the fun.
I personally think the point of improv is definitely just to have a good time. I think of it as my kind of therapy relaxation of the week, and it's kind of an escape from everything that is happening in our hectic lives and be able to come in here for an hour and a half and just breathe.
Even if you don't want to perform on stage, many people can benefit from improv.
The skills that'll help you in your life, because everyone needs improv once in a while.
If you want to see the Ram Improv comedy troupe perform live, you can see their first show of the semester tomorrow at 7:30 in the evening on the first floor of Clark in room 101. Thinking back to our childhood years, we all know how emotionally traumatizing it is if one of your stuffed animals gets hurt. One 6-year-old recently took this pain to the extreme. Yesterday, a little girl from Fort Collins called 911 to report a scratch that hurt her stuffed bunny. The girl called from a disconnected phone line, and although the dispatcher was able to find a Band-Aid for the bunny, the station kindly asked that all stuffed animal-related emergencies be dealt with at home. And now it's time for Krista's Catch, where I'll be talking about my favorite catch of the week. For today's edition, I'm reviewing Fort Collins' version of The Land Down Under, the Waltzing Kangaroo. When I walked into the store, I was hit by an unfamiliar but delicious smell. And now I have no idea what that smell was, but it definitely prepared me for the unique experience that was in the store. The handcrafted Australian food stuck out to me from behind their cases. There were savory pies, a variety of drinks, and a lot of sweet treats that I've never tried before. Fun fact, the Waltzing Kangaroo is the only restaurant in Fort Collins that serves Australian coffee. For my review, I decided to try one of the restaurant's best sellers, the steak and bacon pie. Now, I don't say this lightly, but step aside mashed potatoes because I have found my new favorite comfort food. The crust was so flaky that you could tell it was handmade, and there were large pieces of steaks held together by velvety cheese. As is true with most pies, I was a little worried about the filling to crust ratio, but this pie knocked it out of the park with an airy crust that balances out the meaty filling. The Waltzing Kangaroo delivers, so I enjoyed this treat from home, and I was clearly not the only one who was interested in the pie. After eating it, I just wanted to take a long nap, which I think is the marker of a good meal. Based on my experience there, I'm giving the Waltzing Kangaroo a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The food was great and definitely unique, which I think would be true of anything that this restaurant is serving up. Well, Rams, that's all that I've got for you for this week. But stick around after the break to hear Allie Small tell you if you should pull out those jackets or the shorts for this weekend's weather.